Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome, fellow adventurers, to Island Vacation Travel Podcast. Right now, get ready to embark on your thrilling journey with us as we explore the world's most exotic destinations, uncover hidden gems, and share the inside tips to make your dream vacation a reality. Right? I can hardly contain myself and my excitement today, um, as I am going to be your guide through this tropical paradise. Now, today we're exploring this enchanting island through the eyes of a local, and that local happens to be me, Al Ilosian, right? And you're going to be joining me as we uncover the secret traditions and experiences that make St. Lucia truly unique, right? Now, as you can see, the topic is St. Lucia Uncovered, 9 essential tips on your journey. And that's it. That's to St. Lucia, right? Now, I am Al Philosian. I'm your host of Island Vacation Travel Podcast and the owner of Island Vacation Travel Agency. We are located in Winter Haven, Florida, and that is in Central Florida. Thank you for joining us today. On this podcast, we're not just talking about travel. We're actually igniting your wanderlust and fueling the enthusiasm for unforgettable getaways. Whether you're seasoned globetrotter or whether you're planning a very first escape, we're here to help you get something special, right? Or get something special for you. This podcast is your one-way ticket to country hopping adventure. That sounds exciting, right? Now, so buckle up, because each episode promises to be a whirlwind of inspiration, storytelling, and insider secrets to create the ultimate island vacation travel experience. Now, don't forget, imagine a land where emerald mountains rise from the sea, where volcanic beaches stretch as far as the eye can see, and whether the air is filled with the aroma of mouth-watering cuisine. This island I'm referring to is my home and the place like no other, right? Let me welcome you to St. Lucia, which is located in the Southern Caribbean, right? Now, growing up on the island, I've come to appreciate its beauty in a way that most can't, and words can't even describe it. I still remember the excitement of flying back home for the very first time and seeing the majestic pitons, the pitons slowly coming in my view for the window. Yeah, that was something. That was some sight to see, and it's a sight that never fails you. It's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. Saint Lucia is known for its tranquil and exquisite beauty, but for those who have never visited, there may be some questions that you may have, right? But I'm here to help you all answer those questions. I'm here to assist you all. I'm here to guide you all. Um, some of the questions you may have is, how should I dress for the tropical climate? What's the best way to take what's the best way to take in all the wonders of the island? And even questions like about the hurricane season. We're gonna answer that all for you today. We're gonna answer that all. We're gonna answer that all and more. Let's start with a simple yet important thing that everybody should remember when you're traveling to the islands, especially St. Lucia. It goes a long way, it can help you. We're gonna start with point number one on our 9 essential tips to traveling to St. Lucia. Greetings. St. Lucians are known for their courtesy and a simple good morning, or good afternoon, good night, right? It goes a long way. Not reciprocating might get you branded with a dreaded unmannerly label. So don't be afraid to engage in some light banter with the locals. Like moi, right? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Takafet. You know? Goodbye, bon. Goodbye, bell. Goodbye, bon. Pay ya. That's just a few ways that we say it in Creole, right? Another important thing is to know when you travel to St. Lucia is that's just how the people in the islands are. They're very jovial, they're very outgoing, that's just how they are. So don't be surprised that they're interacting with you. They like to see people, they identify people when they see people. So that's why they say good morning, good afternoon, good night. Don't be surprised by that. I know that's something we lose when we come in the first world countries. Everybody's on their business and in a rush. So we're gonna start off with a greeting. Say, hey, what's up? Right? Now, next, we're going to jump right into it, something everybody been wanting to know. Another important thing to know is that marijuana was only recently decriminalized in St. Lucia, right? While the casual use of marijuana is a common trope in the Caribbean, it's essential to understand the law and regulations before partaking. All right. So the Caribbean, the islands are always been known for marijuana and smoking and rasta and all this kind of good stuff, right? But it's actually fun fact: Saint Lucia only became marijuana only just became decriminalized in Saint Lucia recently, right? So you could smoke, but just be cognizant of where you're smoking and how you're smoking, and you're not allowed to have like large amounts of marijuana. That's not a no. That's a no-no, right? Next, we're gonna go to currencies. When it comes to currency, right, it's always a good idea to carry cash. Cash is king. Now, while credit cards and debit cards are widely accepted, cash is still the most common form of payment on the island. Remember that. And don't forget to exchange some of your currency for Eastern Caribbean dollars, which is our currency. It is an exchange rate of like $2.67 to $1. So it's not much, but you still can make your dollar stretch if you're a US, somebody from the US, the UK, it fluctuates, Canadian, it fluctuates, also Euro, it fluctuates as well, right? So don't forget to change some into Eastern Caribbean dollar. This currency can be used in a few other countries, so you don't have to worry about if you don't use it only in St. Lucia. You could use it in Antigua, you could use it in St. Kitts and Nevis, you could use it in Dominica, you could use it in St. Lucia, you could use it in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, just to name a few, right? So transfer some money into Eastern Caribbean dollar. It's going to make your transactions smoother. Break them down into smaller notes as well. That way, you will be able to tip without showing all your money when you're traveling on the island. So that's just some great tips that we're giving. I hope you're learning something right there. Pick up some, some tips on there before you travel down to the island because we plan on going down there very recent in May. We're going to be going down there for jazz, right? Next thing we want to address is driving in St. Lucia. It could be fun to drive when you're reaching an island, not just be driven by the taxi. But it's fun to actually drive when you reach in an island, when you reach in Mexico, when you reach in St. Lucia, when you reach in Jamaica, when you reach in St. Vincent, Trinidad, Barbados. You get to drive. In St. Lucia, these are the rules for driving. In St. Lucia can be an adventure in itself with sharp turns and unexpected hazards, hills. That's what's in St. Lucia. But that's nothing different from driving across America, driving in any other country, right? The only difference is St. Lucians drive on the left hand side of the road. In America, we drive on the right. In St. Lucia, we drive on the left. Okay? So be prepared for a different driving experience than what you've used to. Okay? Keep your eye on the road and look out for motorcycles, riders, and be aware of sudden stops in traffic, especially from buses, right? The traffic is not too bad in St. Lucia. In St. Lucia, they'll tell you there's very bad traffic. I've experienced it myself. Nah, I drive in Orlando traffic. That's traffic on I-4. So St. Lucia traffic is not bad, but for an island, there should not be traffic at all. But of course, once rush hour, 5 to 6 o'clock, 4 to 6 o'clock, there's a bit of traffic when you're going up north towards Grizzly, which is where most of the hotels are, right? Well, a bit of the hotels are, right? So next, we're going to move into the next question that people often ask, and it's a great tip to know. Hurricane season. The hurricane season in St. Lucia runs from June to November. And I know that's summertime. But yes, it's actually in summertime when the hurricane season actually is, right? But the lucky thing with St. Lucia is St. Lucia, we don't really let any of this deter us from anything. So don't let that deter you from visiting the island. We don't let that deter us because while the island is in the hurricane belt, it rarely ever gets any hurricanes that hits it directly. Most hurricanes in the Atlantic tend to move west away from St. Lucia, making them weaker by the time they actually reach the island, if they ever reach the island. So that's something else. Like you actually might not get a hurricane in the island at all. We haven't had a hurricane for a very, very, very long time. So don't let that stop you. That's actually a time when a lot of people actually visit St. Lucia. St. Lucia is a tropical island, so it's a beautiful experience to experience a rainy day. It doesn't last for long because it's an island. The wind will most likely just blow it away in a quick time. The clouds aren't that big, right? But it's a beautiful, lush, green, tropical island. So you want to experience a beautiful rainy day in St. Lucia. That's one of the most beautiful things to experience if you're going on a vacation. I know you want to be outside, but you probably want to experience a day just chilling, experiencing the rain, especially at a hotel like Jade Mountain, Ladera, where you have free walls in your hotel room and you're just seeing the raindrops and you're looking at over the Caribbean Sea or the Pitons. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I've experienced it for myself, so that's how I could talk to you all about it, right? That's how we're trying to encourage you all to visit St. Lucia, right? Now, as you pack your bags for St. Lucia, remember to dress for the occasion. Do not forget that. You gotta dress for the occasion. Um, whilst the island's beaches are a place of relaxation and fun, it's important to respect the local customs and refrain from going topless or nude. The majority of St. Lucians identify as Christians. So it's best to err the side of like your modesty when it comes to attire. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit more, right? Also, when it comes to like traveling, you want to just be aware of that kind of stuff. It's a Christian country, but I'll go into it a little bit more. But we're just gonna stay there and just take a quick break to big up our sponsors. No, just give us 1 second here. So, guys, are you looking to enhance your well being and embrace a healthier lifestyle? Look no further than Naturalistic Health. Visit naturalistichealth.com. That is naturalistic.com. That's naturalistichealth.com to explore a wide range of natural health health products and supplements that will help you feel the best from the inside out. Right? I want to big up Naturalistic Health. That's where I get my moringa from. So I want to big them up. They're part of our family. Right? Also, when you're ready to take your health journey to the next level, why not do it in style with IVTA Wear from Island Vacation Travel Agency? Yeah. Shop for the latest island inspired fashion at islandvacas.com/shop. That is islandvacas.com/shop. And make a statement whether your adventure takes you. Sorry about that, way your adventure takes you. Right? So, guys, Naturalistic Health and IVTA Wear, these are your partners in health and style. Visit naturalistichealth.com and islandvacas.com/shop. And that is today. All right, so we're going to get back to our topic at hand, guys. Don't forget to check out our family, that is IVTA Wear, which is part of the travel agency. And don't forget to also check out Naturalistic Health to keep yourself healthy. That's where we get our moringa from, right? And ashwagandha and mushrooms and everything else. So we're going to get back to the topic at hand for our people traveling to St. Lucia. We're going to give you 9 essential tips for your journey to St. Lucia. Now, as we continue, we're going to go back and elaborate on the dress code for the occasion when you're going to St. Lucia. Dress for the occasion. During Carnival celebration, revelers shares layers of fabric, seemingly in a nod to the traditional roots in emancipation. But there is a limit to liberation on the island's beaches. It is a major no-no to go topless or nude on the beach in St. Lucia. I know. We're French, but yeah, it's kind of no-no, right? The majority of St. Lucians identify as Christians, and attitudes are quite conservative. All Catholic holidays and sacraments are actually observed throughout St. Lucia, and churches can be found everywhere, right? Other denominations include Anglican, you have Methodist, Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, and Jehovah's Witness. If you wish to join the residents in worship, there is no specific dress code, but just remember to dress on the modest side. Moderate length dresses and skirts, blouse, and trousers. Think casual and comfortable, but not revealing. Remember to throw a cover up over your swimsuits and stuff if you're heading into a restaurant or a bar or something like that, or any other place of business. I would suggest. I just think it's just more decent. It's just a little bit decent to do that. Even if you're on vacation, you don't just want to pop in. Even when we go to Sarasota or wherever it is in America, we don't want to just do that. You want to be courteous and be respectful to everybody else, right? So don't forget dress code, dress code, dress code. People look at you and that's how they judge you based on the dress code. So when you're traveling to St. Lucia, don't forget to dress appropriately, dress nicely. Dress on the modest side because it's like a Christian country. I know I'm a Rastafarian, but we love women to dress modest. That's our thing, actually, right? So next, we're gonna go to a very taboo topic but I've had that question asked to me quite a bit because I'm out there. I be out in the streets. I be out talking to people, moving around, and I'm networking with everybody, whether it be in conventions or in Ubers or different things. I've had this question asked to me quite a bit, so today I'm gonna address it in my 9 tips when you're traveling to St. Lucia. One of the questions I keep on getting is St. Lucia welcoming to LGBTQIA plus community? Right? We're gonna go on record and let people know St. Lucia, like the rest of the Caribbean, has a generally conservative attitude towards the LGBTQIA plus community. Okay? Public displays of affection, such as hand holding or kissing between both same sex couples and heterosexual couples, are rare. Certain homosexual acts are still illegal in St. Lucia, though the law is rarely enforced. Travelers identify as LGBTQIA should be aware of cultural norms and understand that showing affection in public may draw unwanted attention. However, the island has been taking steps towards fostering inclusivity. St. Lucia became one of the few countries in the Caribbean to provide legal protection to same sex couples who are victims of domestic violence. And that was on March 8th when its Parliament passed the historic Domestic Violence Act in 2022. So it's been there for a while. We're in 2024, right? Um, Additionally, it is the only country in the region that expressly forbids discrimination in applying such laws based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Okay, so that I hope answers the questions that some people have had. Because as I said, a lot of people ask me this question, like about the Caribbean, whether the Caribbean is welcoming to LGBTQIA movement. I harassed it. You check me? Uh, I personally don't like the stigma that they give of like the Caribbean is dangerous for people from the LGBTQIA community because I own a travel agency. I run things. I book travel. I move around in the Caribbean. So I can see what's going on. You've never heard on news, international news, that stuff is going on in the Caribbean concerning harming the LGBTQIA plus community in the Caribbean. So that is a fact, that is a lie. That is, ask me that question. When was the last time something happened to you? Like, I was talking to a guy in Orlando. When was the last time something happened to somebody that was in the LGBTQIA community in Orlando? And he had to pause for a split second and realize there was that whole shooting and everything. And every day there's something going on. So that cannot be the stigma of the Caribbean, but it's actually happening in America. You don't hear that in Jamaica. You don't hear that in Antigua. You don't hear that in Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago. Like, you don't hear that, Aruba and Curacao. But for some reason, there is a stigma about that. So I decided I wanted to bring this into consideration so that people could hear what is the feeling concerning St. Lucia and people traveling to traveling to the Caribbean islands, and whether it's safe for the LGBTQIA community to travel down there. There is laws in place. Of course, we're conservative down there because we're religious people, but nobody. So is America. But look at them on the stuff that's happening out here versus down there. So it's safe down there. We don't discriminate down there, right? Like people set it out to be. That is inaccurate, right? So that is just to address that heavy topic. So I wanted to make sure that people are aware of that. Um, we're going right into another one, right into another topic, right? What about the stray dogs that you see in the islands? I want to let you know, don't be afraid to feed the stray animals, the free stray dogs in the islands. Dogs and other pets are welcome at various Airbnbs, apartments, and villas when you visit St. Lucia, right? It's also not unusual to find a few cats like roaming freely around the premises of some of the hotels and outdoor restaurants. Yeah, it actually keeps the rodents and everything away if they ever was to try and come around, and you check it and they get the food and everything else. So it's actually smart to do that. If you go around a lot of like expensive hotels as you travel, Mexico, DR, St. Lucia, Jamaica, you actually see that there are cats actually in the hotels. It's actually smart, right? So don't be surprised, right? But larger pets like dogs are not generally allowed into business places and eating establishments. That's something that's different in the Caribbean. You see that in America. You see dogs, cats in planes, in restaurants, in libraries. They're like service animals. You don't really find that in the Caribbean. You don't really find that in the Caribbean because they don't have the infrastructure for that as yet. So that's what's going on down there. So you will, however, run into stray dogs along beaches, particularly in Pigeon Point area. They love being out there. Those dogs are actually generally friendly and accustomed to receiving food from kind visitors. That's why they're there, and actually locals too, right? So we just addressed these two topics. I hope this was some useful information for you. So I'll reiterate it in just a little bit. We're gonna go to the next topic, which is another deep topic, which is concerning: is it safe for solo female travelers to travel to St. Lucia? You find a lot of men traveling, but also there are way more women traveling, way more women traveling. Solo travelers. They take off and they go explore the world, which is a beautiful thing. I encourage people to do that. We book travel specifically for that, whether it's a cruise, whether it's African safaris, whether it's Caribbean getaways, retreats. We specialize in retreats, so we encourage people to do that. Let's just check out what St. Lucia has to say about solo female travelers. Traveling around St. Lucia by yourself is generally safe. Okay. Public transportation, such as taxis and buses, is usually a risk free option for travelers. But like many popular tourist destinations, crowded areas are prime spots for petty theft like pickpocketing and bag snatching. That's everywhere, worldwide. Okay? Could be Times Square, could be Castries, right? Could be by Big Ben in London on the South Bank. You could get pickpocketed when there's a lot of people. So be aware. Same thing applies for St. Lucia, right? That's just how it is. It could be in Miami, it's the same thing. And as busy as the capital city of Castries is during the day, it's much more deserted at night. Okay, so Castries actually comes alive at night as well. You move around, you'll actually see it. Vendors come out, people come out. It's actually pretty cool. I actually love being Castries in the evening as well. You should always take some measures to protect yourself while traveling. However, as a solo traveler, always have your cell phone handy in case of an emergency. If you need a local SIM card, prepaid mobile phone cards are available island wide at a telecommunication company. And there are two major telecommunication companies down there, Digicel and Flow. And a SIM card is not very expensive. So it could actually save you a lot of money instead of those roaming charges. All right. Do not get in a car with a complete stranger, please, ladies. Please. Even if they seem nice, which everybody in San Lucia is nice in my opinion. If possible, use public transportation or a taxi. Right? Authorized buses have green number plates beginning with the prefix M, and taxis have a light blue number plate which has TX prefix on it, which stands for taxi. Avoid carrying around large sums of cash. Of course, do not be foolish. That is just common sense. You could be traveling anywhere around the world. You do not want to be traveling with large sums of cash. That is just a no-no. That's not clever. That's not smart, right? So you want to make sure you do that. Another thing to do is, I mean, that just makes sense. Not carrying large amount of cash. Instead, you could use like debit cards, credit cards. They do accept credit cards and debit cards in certain places. And just keep small bills of like EC dollars to pay for snacks and drinks wherever like credit cards are not accepted. Like if you're on the side of the road or something like that, or different bars, you might just want to use cash. Matter of fact, you want to get some cash and you want to get some Eastern Caribbean dollars. You could get it from the bank, you could get it at the airport, you could get it at duty free stores. They'll help you out. Never leave your accommodation without telling someone you trust where you are going and when to expect your return. And that is everybody, whether you're at home, whether you're traveling. That's just etiquette. That's common courtesy. That's common sense. Make sure you do that. Your family needs to know. Someone needs to know. So that's just some great pointers I just wanted to bring to our attention. Oh, our time is running quick, so we need to wrap it up. Let me just go through the great advice of just 9 essential tips for your journey to St. Lucia with Island Vacation Travel Podcast, right? Starting off number 1, a greeting goes a long way. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, top of the day, top of the night, sac a fête, sac passé. That's all part of good greetings, right? Next, marijuana has been decriminalized in St. Lucia, but still be cognizant of where you're traveling around and where you're trying to smoke. Be discreet. Next, we have the currency. St. Lucia's currency is the Eastern Caribbean dollar. You want to try and transfer some of your money into local currency and break down the bills into small bills in case you have to tip. Of course, debit cards and credit cards are accepted in some places, but you still want to keep cash. Cash is always king, right? Next, we went into driving. In St. Lucia, we drive on the left-hand side, which is a little bit different from most of the first world countries. So be aware of that. That's a little bit different. And also the roads are winding and sharp, and also you have hills, but you could do it. You could do it. You could do it, right? So driving in St. Lucia is pretty different, but it's fun. Next, we have the hurricane season. The hurricane season is actually during the summer season, which is between June to November, right? June to November. June to November. And when it comes to hurricanes, we don't really get hit. Is going across to it's actually going across to the west, so we don't really get hit directly, right? Another thing is that when you travel into the islands, try to dress modest. Dress modest. Be cognizant. It's a Christian country with several different religions, including Rastafarianism. So, you want to be modest, and when you're dressing, nobody discriminates or anything like that, but you just want to be cognizant of that. Also, the LGBTQIA plus community is welcome in St. Lucia. There are laws that are passed out there to protect them. So feel free to be welcome out there. It's not what you hear on the news about the Caribbean. So wanted to address that. Next, we address another deep topic, which is about stray dogs in the island. Yes, you will see stray dogs in the island. That's just what it is. They're there. They love being free. They love being around the tourists. They're in tourist places. You'll see cats around hotels. That's worldwide as well. So that's also the same in St. Lucia. Feel free to feed the stray dogs. Also, it is safe for female travelers to travel to St. Lucia. Yes, it is safe for female travelers to travel to St. Lucia. We always want more female travelers in St. Lucia because they spend money, they're actually beautiful people, they come and relax, they appreciate the arts, the food, and everything. I can testify for that, right? And the repeat customers. So these are just some of the things we wanted to bring to your attention. The 9 essential tips for traveling to St. Lucia, right? Now, I want you to join us every week, guys, and together let's explore, discover, and unwind in the most stunning corners of our planet. It's time to pay back. It's time to pack your bag, take a leap of faith, and let your wanderlust run wild. I want to thank you for joining us today's episode on Island Vacation Travel Podcast, the 9 essential tips for your travel journey to St. Lucia Uncovered, right? Be sure to tune in the next time for more exciting travel destinations and tips. Remember to subscribe to our podcast for more travel inspiration. And until next time, happy travels, guys. Share, like, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys and we love you. All right. You have a good one and make the week very productive.